I got something really cool here. It's just something really neat that ICM Models has put out. It's a detail set, and it's basically like a decal set for the Armed Forces of Ukraine. It says Insignia, patches, and vehicle camouflage of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. But it also says it includes an original patch. And I'll open it up and have a look. I have already opened it up, just for a disclaimer, but I'll get the stuff out and see what you actually get inside here. So it says on here, we got 468 combat unit patches of the AFU, 56 patches of AFU, and then we've got an original patch included, which is like super cool. Then we have 34 shoulder boards and 2 types of camouflage, and it's showing us here a preview. I'm not sure if this is everything in here or not. The decals, which is in 1/35th scale for 1/35th scale figures. Or, I mean, if you were doing a diorama, you could have a patch board in the background or something with a whole bunch of patches on it. And our camouflage, I guess this is our 2 types of camouflage. And our kit number or order number would be 35748. And on the back, it's kind of interesting. It's got this little like window here, which, because it's sort of like in an envelope style, it's almost like you would put an address or a sticker of some kind on there. Not really sure why it's like that, but it is. So we'll have a look and see what you get inside. I'll get everything out. And still more. And that looks like everything. So first off, obviously the coolest thing is we get an actual patch, which I'm sure it's going to tell us what this is by going off of the sheet there. It's just their standard trident here, and it's what they call hook and loop, or so like a Velcro back, and it looks really nice. Actually, it looks really well done, so I'm guessing it is an actual military one, like would actually be in service. It doesn't appear to be like, say, like one you would order from like China or something like that. So it looks like it actually is a real patch. What actually would have been really cool is if they did one with like a random patch, like you could get like one of these and it would just be totally random. That would have been amazing, because I probably would have bought a couple of these. And but it's nice that they give you just the most prominent generic patch here, which is cool. So I'll set that over here, and we'll flip these over. But first, I want to see this sheet here. So it's giving us a list here of what every one of these decals is. It's telling us in, I'm not sure if it's Russian or Ukrainian, and then in English, it's telling us what each different unit is, what each patch is. So if you know the particular unit, and you might not even know what their patch looks like, but you wanted to make something, then I mean, it's all down here for you. I'm not sure if it says tank forces here. I'm not sure if this patch is tank forces, because it's kind of hard to tell if that's just black and gold or not. Because I would assume this is like just the one from like the standard like Army issue one. And you've got all your units there, and then down here you've got your shoulder boards and whatnot, and then you've got all your different little tabs, all the different options, like even the black and red option. And this is kind of neat. It's got the blood groups and the blood types, and it says here badge of the Armed Forces of Ukraine. I'm not sure if that's actually a name tag or if that's what it says on there is Armed Forces of Ukraine. Someone might know. But that's cool. They include everything you need there. And then we've even got like the specialized units here. So it's pretty much got you covered. And we'll look at, well, we might as well look at the Insignia first. They look really good. They might have like heavy carrier film, but actually it's probably a good thing when you're putting them on, because they kind of form better to like uniforms and arms and things. If they've got, if they're larger, if they're smaller, sometimes they won't sit down properly. So there's so many on here. I mean, and then our little tiny, you can barely read what's on those little specialized type patches there. And then our tiny little flags. I wish there was kind of more of these. There's a good number of them, but I wish there was just way more of the yellow and blue. They should have put a whole ton of those in here. But I can't complain, and I do like that they have a heavier carrier film on them, so they're excellent. And from what I can see with my eyes, as small as they are, they seem to be very crisp. So we'll move on to the. So this set looks like it comes from their Kozak armed vehicle, because it says their Kozak, it's like the mine protected vehicle. Looks like it's just been thrown in from that, but it really doesn't matter. You could use it on anything that has this particular pattern, which it looks excellent. And this has like almost no carrier film whatsoever. It is super sharp how these are cut out. They look like excellent decals. So there's that style, and then we have the more almost like desert style, which is also from that Kozak kit, and there's the number for that kit there. And they look, actually these ones look like they have a little bit more of carrier film on them, but they're alright. So everything looks excellent, and it's really neat that they included a patch like this. Like that's just awesome. I really appreciate ICM for doing that. And this is the ICM, I guess I would say detailing set or decal set for the Insignia patches and vehicle camouflage of the Armed Forces of Ukraine, part of the Brave Ukraine series of kits in 1/35 scale. So thank you for watching.